Hello and welcome to Stillness In Success. I'm your host, Mustafa Nuristani. And it's a great joy today because I have a very special guest and I really can't wait to get into the conversations with her. But before I do that, I just want to remind you to please make sure that you subscribe to our channel and also share this episode with your loved ones. Now, it's a great joy for me today because the person I'm going to be talking to you today has done a lot in their life. They have won the Order of Australia Medal for their humanitarian work, and they have been dedicated to making everyone else's life a better experience for all of their life. So really, it's a great joy for me to bring to you Miss Maria Hicks. Hi, Maria.
Hi, Mustafa. Thanks for having me today, too.
It's nice to have you here. Now, you are such a beautiful soul because you have dedicated really your life in educating people, educating young people. And, I'm from Afghanistan in the East. And the teacher is really regarded as a very high person in your life, someone who's going to show you the path to greater achievement in life. And to have you here today, I just feel like, oh my God, it's so nice.
Thank you.
So now let's talk about, there's something I know about you is that you have been to one of my favorite cities in the world, which is Seoul in South Korea.
Yes.
And what was that experience like, and why did you go there, and when was it?
I went there quite a few years back. I think it was in the late 90s, and I was recruited to teach as teaching and administration at Seoul International School. And when I went there, that was the time when we had the financial crisis, the Asian financial crisis, and the IMF had to come in and do some work in Korea. And my experiences in Seoul was it was interesting in the fact that people rallied around during that time. It was very nationalistic, and we, as foreigners, also had a role to play. And it actually made us, I guess, a lot more resilient, all of us, because the exchange rate was not good. We couldn't recruit new teachers in because of the won going down. And so during that time, there were a lot of changes for expats who left. We were still there, and also for Koreans. They had to really learn a lot, I think, about themselves and how to restructure their society.
And what was it like for you being there in education? Because, education is at the forefront of all of these political and financial situations.
We were in the school that we're at is registered in America and registered in Korea. So we're trying to walk two paths. And education for these students was prime. And for most of the students, be in an international school or in a regular high school, ended up after school in a hogwan. So your hogwan is your cram college. But with the financial crisis, the government stopped hogwans and tutoring. As a result, that was one of the things they stopped. As they stopped like weddings and big celebrations that were seen to be ostentatious and spending a lot of money, right? So our teachers, for example, could not tutor anymore, and they were doing, a lot of them were doing private tutoring.
To earn some extra cash.
Yeah, and that was quite legal, right? But when this came along, that was the end of it.
And so they went underground.
Well, I had to. Yes, most of them didn't do it, but I had one occasion where this couple decided they'd finish off a couple of lessons or whatever, and they went to somebody's apartment and they got reported by the security guard in the building, and as they were teaching, the police knocked the door down and came and took them away. And so I had to go with HR people, and we bailed them out. We got them out, but
wow,
it wasn't pleasant.
What a nice place! The nice place to be recruited.
Yeah, but look, they were exceptional times.
Absolutely. I thought that you were going to tell me something completely different, because what I did in Seoul, I was there on a contract. I was also recruited to go there. But there I came across this book. I was reading one book, and within that book, this book was mentioned, Tao Te Ching's Taoism.
The way of the Tao.
Yes. And so I went to the bookstore and I purchased this book, and I was completely in awe of this philosophy of life and this man who was so incredibly enlightened in his words, and the passages of that book just resonate on every level of life. So that was for me, that was soul for me. I was really soulful.
Insoulful in soul.
And also lots of hot pot.
Oh, yes. Yes. I mean, now, I've been back once, but it's so different now.
Absolutely, yes. I mean, when I went there, it was about maybe over a decade ago or something.
Yeah, that's like me,
Yes.
And I still have friends there, and they're a lot. I think Korea now is so outward looking.
Yes, well, their TV shows are really popular, and their bands are really popular. And so my kids are obsessed with Korean movie, which I don't know what the name is. I think it's
got like little minion.
Yes. Anyway, so now, when did you win the medal for Australia and Order of Australia?
I think it was 1999.
For your work in...
Well, I did, from Korea, I moved to Hong Kong and was involved in setting up a special education class after school for students who required homework assistance and stuff like that. And that was interesting because it wasn't, in some societies, if you have a child who requires extra help, it's not accepted.
Yes.
When you've got I've worked in hearing impaired, for example, we had one case in Sydney, we could go get the social service people to take the kid out because they had him just locked up in a room because they didn't want anyone to know, So it was almost like never met the parents because it was quite secret. But that particular group eventually we got sponsorship by the Jockey Club. Just when I left, we signed that over, which was really good. So that the finances came for 1 year from the Jockey Club for the racing and the lotteries and stuff like that. And so from there I came here and I decided to go for my 60th birthday, not have a party, go to Cambodia.
Nice.
With the Hong Kong friends and some from Korea, and they were all going to go in the Angkor Wat Half Marathon.
Beautiful.
So off we went, and after the marathon, I was actually the only person who ran. They all walked and no one told me. So I thought, right, I'm going to take a tour just to drive around. And I contracted a guy who took me out in his car, And we came across a little, well, not a hamlet, but a little hut. And in front of that hut was a lady, why is an old thing, right, just with a little sarong, sitting there with a little brazier, and she had about 6 kids, some naked, some with just a T-shirt on top, right? So poor. And they were in the middle of nowhere.
Mm.
And she was grilling 5 fish, little fish, like little fingerlings like this.
Mm-hmm.
And we went up and talked to her because the guy I was with he was working to supply water for these people, from tourists. And I ended up working with him for a while as well. Anyway, so this lady looked at me and she offered me 1 fish.
Out of the 5 that was supposed to be for the 6 kids.
Yeah. It was like afternoon tea. It was like 3 o'clock, right? And she handed it to me. It was on like on a little stick thing, and I took it and I thought, okay, I took the head off, ate that, and then I gave 2 bits to the kids. I thought, well, I'll just share it around. But how gracious was she?
Mm. Yeah.
In that situation? And that kind of turned my thinking around to be more compassionate. Because you've lived in Afghanistan, you've lived in India, all around you. You can be just close off all the beggars and,
Yes.
Somebody touches you and go, oh,
Yeah.
how are you?
Yes.
Yeah. And that just, I guess, opened my heart more.
Yes.
And I continued to work in Cambodia as the country director for an NGO, Days for Girls International. And through those folks, some of that work that I was doing there, I think that's how I got the Order of Australia, because you never know who nominates you, of course.
Beautiful. Yes, you're absolutely right, Maria, because when you go to these countries where people are living very basic lives, they and it's a saying, we may not have, gold and jewelry, but our hearts are really big. And that's what you see in these countries, in these third world countries, where they have nothing, but when they see a guest, they offer their best to them.
Yeah, and I always find that in the countryside.
Yes.
In Cambodia.
Yes.
I've sponsored students, and you go to their house, and we gave these people a house, right, with a well and so forth. And this particular family are real go-getters. So every time you turn up, there's always food, rice, veg, a fresh coconut for me.
Yes.
And the first time we went, I know that she would have gone to the whole village and borrowed plates and some spoons.
Yes.
And because they were just sitting on something that's the size of a double bed, like a little platform with a bit of thatch on top. So there's people like that it's just humanity, isn't it?
Yes. Yes. And they're so connected. What I feel brings them so close to this love and compassion and an open heart is because they're so connected with nature as well there, and
it's an agrarian society, just like Korea as well.
Yes.
Because their feasts and, celebrations are harvest.
Yes, exactly. Kimchi. Kimchi. When I was a journalist, I did this whole thing on kimchi. It was huge because my addiction to kimchi still remains to this day. And now my son is addicted to it.
It is good.
But anyway, so then you also are now involved with the Rotary Club, this Passport Rotary Club.
Yeah, I was the charter president.
Mm-hmm. And what does that mean?
Didn't think about it that much then. It means that basically our team, we do some work here in the community, but when we first joined up, it was international, and we've retained that, I guess, international feel where our projects are overseas in Cambodia, PNG and Timor-Leste. They're our major places, and we have some members there as well. And the important thing is showing some people who would say just who are our beneficiaries, but you don't need to have money to be able to make a difference in your society. Like the students that are being sponsored by our club and other clubs and individuals, well, they're out there volunteering because you're giving you a gift of education, and so therefore you need to, pony up and do the right thing and show some leadership from that gift, and to show all the other people that, hey, education's really a cool thing to have, and you can come and join us because we're coming to help you. We can plant trees and give out motorbikes and scholarships and so on. But we've got that ability because we're educated, we've had education, we've been helped, and so now we can do it. You guys can do it too.
Beautiful. Now, the other thing that's very interesting about you is if I ask you what is the one thing that you would describe yourself as, and you would say you're a seeker. And what's this path of seeking? What has that been like for you? Where has it taken you?
It's taken me from, I guess, a place where I was never really, never sure of yourself and pleasing others and stuff like that, I've been to meditation, because we're here today, which I have meditated, maybe for 30 years or so, and more recently through the TM Association, and it's been trying to engage with other people. I think you have a purpose when you engage with others, and that's one thing I've discovered. Secondly, I've also found that, you call it, part of this podcast has got the word stillness. Mm-hmm. That's something I've always wanted, and I'm sure everybody else would want.
Yes. It's because, in stillness, we find all of our best ideas. We find the answers to questions that are keeping us on the edge, questions that create anxiety. And if we're able to still the mind, then all of a sudden that stillness, that silence is where all ideas come from. So we are really engaging that silence. And so what's your experience of TM has been like?
I find I haven't been involved with that long, but just the same with my other meditations. You get a lot of thoughts, right? It's a lot of noise that comes through, and you have to I accept that noise and then move back into the mantra.
No, I want to know, in terms of the benefits that you've experienced in meditation and out of meditation, what's that been like?
It's enabled me to do things that I never thought I could do. And to, after meditation, let's say, it's always good to use that space, that opportunity, to think about what you're going to do today. What's a good thing I'm going to do today? What's something positive? What's cool? What's going to happen today? Because in the past, if I didn't do that, I would be really anxious before I got in the car.
Yes. And this beautiful experience of, coming out and having that ability to just have organized thinking, where you're like, okay, so this is the agenda for today.
Yes, and also to think about what I want in the future for me, for my family, and so forth. And I find it quite a powerful way of figuring out. And once you've got that very clear intention, then you end up doing things that give you the pathway to the success or to that end,
Beautiful.
So that's that's my meditation experience.
It's a beautiful experience. And so what I wanted to say is, for me, it's been such a great joy that you made the time to come today. And we especially want to thank you for making the time today, because today is a very special day. I know that it's your birthday today.
Oh, yes. Yes, it is.
And so we were
How cool
thinking,
is that?
I know.
Again, I would never think of
Yes.
all roads leading up here, right?
So we wanted to bring you a little candle, light this light for you, and wish you eternal contentment in each activity that you undertake.
Thank you.
May life be just bliss for you.
Thank you so much.
Just as you give bliss to everyone else and help and nourish people, may the universe nourish you in every possible way.
Thank you,
and you enjoy your life.
I will have to.
Yes, very good.
Yay.
Beautiful.
Oh,
beautiful.
Thank you so much. One of the other things is accepting the good wishes and from you and and others as the acceptance, because a lot of time people go, "Oh, you shouldn't have." I never say that.
Yes, it's beautiful.
Because I'm grateful that you've thought of me today, you guys, and presented
It's a
me
blueberry
with
and white chocolate muffin that my wonderful producer has brought for us.
Thank you.
Josh.
Rose and I are going to eat this after.
Yes. Beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
And thank you for your company this week. It's been a great joy to have this chat with our wonderful Maria Hicks. And next week we will have another wonderful soul coming and sharing their story with us. Until then, make sure you subscribe and share with your friends this episode, and tune in next week for another episode. Thank you so much.